Hey guys, good morning. Sorry for the double up yesterday at the morning devotion. I'm sure it was a message that you might need to hear twice. We're going to do our best to not let that happen again. Today, though, we're going to be diving into Mark chapter 8, verses 35 through 37. And this is such a cool section of scripture. Probably one of my favorite words that Jesus shares. And one of the most challenging that he shares. And it says this: For whoever desires to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's will save it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? That final questions that are there. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world or loses his own soul? Or what will a man exchange for his soul? Is a very powerful question, and one in which every person on the face of the earth should truly take note of. Even us as followers of Jesus Christ, it's easy to find that many of the distractions of life have a higher value or get more of our attention, more of our time than the Lord does. And what do we end up? Well, exchanging our soul for, in some cases, and it's crazy. People exchange their soul for video games. People will exchange their soul for a relationship that's a total lie. People would exchange their soul for a quick drink. People would exchange their soul for a little bit extra sleep on a Sunday morning. People would exchange their soul simply to be right all the way to the end, all the while finding out that, well, they've lost everything that could have ever mattered to them. And so we see in this section of scripture the dichotomy, right? That in God's economy, you don't fight to gain your life. You actually have to fight to give up your life, to lose your life. The preceding verses made it clear that if you want to follow me, then you've got to deny yourself, take up the cross, and really follow me. That the fight is really going to be against the flesh and the blood of our own, like, self-deceit and our own those issues of just the battling of the flesh and the spirit, right? That those are the things that tend to be some of our greatest battles that we end up facing. And it's no question that as Jesus puts this out there as a statement, that the people would have been deeply challenged, that they wouldn't have fully understood the full measure of what he's saying. And it's one of those deals too that it's easy for us to kind of read something like this and just kind of gloss over it. Yeah, I've given my life, I've surrendered my life over to you, Lord. Sure, I have. But to really take stock and to say, you know what, have I actually surrendered everything of my being, of my hopes, and all those things? My need to be right, some hobbies that might get in the way, perhaps upward mobility in a career, maybe just safety and security. Maybe the Lord's calling you to step out in faith and put yourself in a place which would, from the world's perspective, seem like a huge risk. Why would you do it? But in God's economy, it's the perfect place for you to be because you truly are desiring to seek to serve the Lord in your life. So, what is it that you would exchange your soul for? And that's the question. And that should be something that we ask ourselves. Is there something that we'd exchange our souls for? I think at the root of that answer should be no way, but maybe practically there is something. And so I challenge you with those words today that you would respond well. Um, Discover, is there something that I perhaps am or maybe would exchange my soul for, rather than seeking to serve Jesus Christ with everything that I have? I love you guys.